70% were non-followers. Post it, send it out there, and see what happens. I felt hopeless, overwhelmed, already wanting to quit. But I realized, I learned like 400 things in the last like 2 or 3 days. If you can combine these three, you're like a demigod. It's insane. Okay, we are live. I have to make this quick because I have a shooting today and I need to be there quite soon. I should be consistent and record the video every single day at the end of the day. But sometimes, yes, I don't feel like it and I can be accommodating. I don't have to be so strict on myself. I can record the next day in the morning. It's so shiny outside. Bright, I mean. I can't see what I'm looking at here. Yesterday was another day where I didn't go to the gym. I stayed home all day and I worked on my project. I worked, and I saw some success. My first post of the day was, you know your true friends when you are in a boring situation. I posted it. It didn't receive feedback. So I thought, this is a bad post. I want to archive it. I want to get rid of it. I ended up not doing that. And the post performed better than any of my other posts, which was, surprising. It reached a large amount of non-followers. 70% were non-followers. They liked the post, they saved it, and they forwarded it to other people. That is exactly the type of performance that I want for the things that I post. So that was extremely shocking. And it goes to prove that the content that you make, you may not be confident in it, but you honestly don't know how the audience will perceive it or if they will like it or not. My takeaway from that is post a large variety of things, content, and don't have too much expectation. You may spend hours working on one piece of content, you post it and no one cares, but you may spend 30 seconds working on this one piece of content and everyone loves it. You don't know what the outcome will be. So just post it, send it out there and see what happens. It's more of an experiment. You're just testing the waters. I also learned that post frequency is really important. If you post more frequently, your content will be exposed to different people and your overall viewership will increase. The amount of people that follow you will also increase. I noticed because I posted a second reel that day and this one received way less feedback. No one saved it, no one forwarded it, but 2 people followed because of that reel. Not many people liked it. Not many people saw it, but it gained me 2 followers compared to the other one, which was very popular. A lot of people saved it. A lot of people forwarded it, but no one followed because of it. So that's really interesting. You don't know what it's going to be like, the outcome. Yesterday, I was editing videos. I also find that I can edit better. For example, I edited a bunch of shorts and then I was about to add the Chinese subtitles to them. And I find out that, hey, actually, I don't like the content that I made. It's not snappy enough. I need to cut out the filler space between each word. I need to cut out the parts that are unnecessary. I need to keep a fast pace and really just trim. I can blabber and blabber for 30 minutes, but I need to trim it down to where it's just the highlights. If I'm able to do that, then the content will be quite good. I have a lot of notes. This is a terrible idea, doing it outside. I can put the laptop on my lap. That's what it's for, right? It's called a laptop. Yesterday in the morning, I taught English. For 2 hours, I made 3,000 NTD. That's quite good. That's about $100 USD. That's enough to pay for my food for most of the week. I continued working on my videos when I got back, editing, finalizing things, putting some things on buffer. Last night, before I slept, I watched a YouTube video on how to grow a YouTube channel. I learned you should post a variety of content in the beginning to figure out, okay, what are you good at making? But eventually you need to really niche down because the way the YouTube algorithm works is going to look at your content and decide what type of content are you making. And it has a portfolio of what type of people who are interested in that content, and then it will match it. But if a YouTube channel, which is like mine, where it's a wide variety of content, then it doesn't know who to suggest it to. I need to create some long form videos. I have a bunch of random videos of me at the beach and stuff, but they are all long compiled videos, which are just memories, and there's no overarching story or meaning or anything to the videos. And so it's not even worth watching. The other things that it talked about was you need to post consistently. That's obvious. Man, I really should have taken notes on it. But it was a good video. Disposable plastic spoons in Taiwan cut my mouth. I think I'm at the stage now where I can start dabbing into creating specialized reels. Rather than recording long content like this, I can do more scripted content and more funny content. I think I'm almost to the stage where I can push through to that next step and start crafting these reels. And I think once I do those with the music and the creative idea and it's funny, it's like a meme, those will really skyrocket my performance. going back to the long form content, I want to do things about entrepreneurship and self-improvement, things like this. I think my main topic will be self-improvement. That's the thing that I want to talk about the most. How can I turn self-improvement and my philosophy and turn it into funny memes, combine the two to where rather than you're just being lectured by some old man the whole day about life lessons, instead it's more relatable stuff on how to get better and not the the ones where people are just flexing their lifestyle. I don't want that. I want it to be different. I think there's a niche that I can create where it's memes, self-improvement, philosophy, and existentialism. I'm excited for it. This is my 4th day doing this content creation thing, and I'm very happy with it so far, my progress. I found an old video of when I was in Thailand. I talked about my experience there. I wish I would have kept up with these audio journals. Perhaps I will link that video in this description if I'm not too shy to post it. But it was very eye-opening for me, and I really miss my old self, and I'm so proud of how far I've come. I wish I would have captured more moments and posted it on YouTube. I see who I am now, but if I could have just seen how I was during my teens, oh my gosh. I kind of miss that life. I miss my old self. Sometimes I really admire my old self more than who I am today. Very interesting dynamic there. Taking a step back from writing articles, I've been focusing mostly on creating the shorts. I can take my love for writing and use it for video. Video is definitely the way to go, and audio as well. Yesterday, I felt hopeless, overwhelmed, already wanting to quit. But I realized, I learned like 400 things in the last 2 or 3 days. It's overwhelming. How to edit with Descript, all of the tiny micro little details. How do I use ChatGPT to assist me? How do I use Buffer and schedule those posts? How does the YouTube algorithm work? How does Instagram algorithm work? All of these things about content creation and how to edit well too. And oh my gosh, I learned so much. And yet I still have that expectation. Oh, I was listening to a podcast this morning and they said something about you have already accomplished goals that you said would make you happy. And wow, that fucking stuck in my brain, Ben, because it's so true. I have accomplished everything that I set out to accomplish. Yeah, I'm not quote unquote happy, or at least I take things for granted. And so I need to remember that. There's another quote too that I remember was, imagine you are your 85-year-old self and you wake up in the body that you have today. I'm 24 now. So I wake up, I'm 24 and my body's not in excruciating pain. I know I have 50 good years in front of me, something like this. It would put me into a state of being grateful for every little thing in my life. And so I think that's extremely potent and important to remember. I need to go to my modeling job now, but that is the recap of yesterday. It was mostly a stay-at-home day, working on my laptop. That's going to be a big part of my life. But another thing that I realized is this momentum, this pursuing a great goal. I love this lifestyle so much because I am the type of person, a little bit of a workaholic, where these things give me such immense pleasure that working on these ideas, and then I'm always chasing something. I'm either writing a book or writing articles or shooting a video or a podcast. And then, eventually I can interact with other people and just try out new ideas and then experiment and then analyze and then tweak it. And then, actually get a little bit of dopamine from seeing any kind of results and then seeing how far I come, looking back and all of these things. It even gives you status because if you're recording out in public, people want to be in your video. Or you tell people that you do YouTube or live stream, there's all of these things, and it's such a perfect life, and it's so fun. It's so fun. Why wouldn't you do this? Obviously it's harder than anything else. You should just keep with it. There's another thing from a podcast today. All these things are popping into my mind because I listened to a podcast this morning was you should listen to people who have done the thing that you wanted to do, have been successful in the field that you want to be successful. And that way you gain context of what their experience was like. And once you gain context of what their experience was like, then you know what you are going to go through. You are prepared mentally. And so when you're going through it and you're like, wow, these are tough times, you'll remember when this person talked about, oh, these were tough times. And you will find solace in those words and you will be able to persevere and keep pushing through. So that is something that I have been doing recently is if I'm feeling demotivated, just listening to people who have already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, this really inspires me. And I'm like, oh shit, it's just 5 years of grinding. And they all say the same thing. You're going to be lonely. You're going to feel doubt. You're going to feel uncertainty. And you're just going to feel like shit. But you just need to keep going and eventually succeed. That little sentence has just been on repeat in my brain over and over and over and over and over again. And that's why I'm able to persevere and not quit. It's kind of like the anime, like the protagonist that never quits. He just like keeps getting up over and over. I watch a lot of anime, and so, you know, that kind of sticks in my brain too. So these types of like, don't give up, stay consistent, keep going at it. That kind of mentality, like if you can be focused and consistent and constantly improving, if you can combine these three, you're like a demigod. It's insane. So that is my mindset right now. That is my strategy. Yes. Anyways, that is it for today's episode. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm going to go do my modeling shoot, hopefully record some of that, put it on my YouTube if you're interested in seeing it. Don't know what it is today. Something about me being strong, and that's why I got the job. So we'll see how it is. I'm sweating now. I'm going to go eat a sweet potato, drink some coffee, go to work. Bye-bye. See ya.
In the darkness of the night, a hero emerges with a heart of fire and a soul that never falters. He sets out on a quest, a journey to the unknown, facing demons and dragons, carving out his own throne. Through the valleys and mountains he fights with